about the things that we used to do. And then I wonder why I'm standing here missing you. No doubt we had some good times, you and I. But now it's time to start a new chapter in my life. Even though we've grown so far apart, you know that you will always be deep within my heart. So even though I can't see you again.
What's up, people? What's going on? Welcome to CuzWeKin's Open Bar, where, as we always say, the drinks are on us. And today we're going to do a little something different. As you can see, my ace boon coon, my partner in crime, Mojo, is nowhere to be found. He's probably out doing something cool, like helping old ladies crossing the street, saving babies, or rescuing kittens out of trees or something like that. But he wasn't able to be with me tonight. But today we're going to get into the NBA Finals, which is upon us. As you know, with CuzWeKin, we always say we are masters of our passions, and one of my passions happens to be sports, and basketball in particular. So we're going to kind of discuss my feelings on which way I think the series is going to go, and get into a couple of other basketball things, and then, we'll sign off as usual. If you have any questions about anything, put them in the comments below, and let's get going. So as you know, the Warriors and the Raptors are in the finals. Of course, the Warriors, everybody knew they're in the finals like every year. And the Raptors, shout to them, for the first time in the franchise's history, have made their ways to the finals. Unfortunately, it's against the Warriors, so they're probably going to catch an L-bop. I don't see them beating the Warriors. I don't care who they have on it. They can have Jesus, Mary, Joseph, with or without KD, however it is. If you disagree, comment below, or let me know how you feel. But it ain't gonna help the Raptors. I think they go down probably about 5 games, maybe 6, if the Warriors feel like running up and down a little bit. I think that one thing though, for sure, the Spurs are kind of salty because they had Kawhi, and the only real difference in Toronto's team is the fact that they traded Kawhi from the Spurs to the Raptors for DeMar DeRozan. So DeMar's home, Kawhi's in the finals. So what that pretty much shows is that Kawhi is the difference maker, and the Spurs making that trade pretty much put the Raptors in the finals. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into the big three comparison. So as you know, as everybody's been saying forever, the Warriors have a super team, which is not so super because Steph Curry is probably the only super player that they had before they got KD. Now that they have KD, they have 2 super players. One of them is injured, so we're back to 1 super player, which is Steph Curry. Draymond Green, not a super player. And contrary to people's popular beliefs, neither is Klay Thompson. I love both of those players. Draymond is a beast. He's a glue guy, holds everything together, but he is not a superstar, and neither is Klay Thompson. On other teams, I think that both of them would be better than average, but they would not be franchise-type players. So you got the big three for the Warriors. You got Draymond, Steph, and Klay. And on the other side, on the Raptors side, you got Kawhi, Lowry, and Siakam. Now, Kawhi is pretty much the same, though, because on the Raptors side, Kawhi is the constant. So, he's going to come every night, deliver. He's going to play his game and do his thing. Then you got Lowry, who was an all-star at one time, but he's been playing lately like he has no stars. So I don't know what he's going to do in the finals. In the conference finals, he was there sometimes, not there sometimes. And then you got Siakam, who is like, I compare him a little bit to Draymond because he is a glue guy too. He does a little bit of everything. He rebounds, he plays defense, he can score when you need him to. So you got the big three of the Warriors versus the big three of the Raptors. Who do you guys think is going to come out on top in that series? Again, I said I don't think the Raptors have a chance, but they got to play the game, so miracles do happen. And what about the Warriors? So they've won 3 of the last 4 championships in the NBA. So do you guys think that makes them a dynasty? Because we had the dynasty of the Spurs. I guess they tried to give Cleveland the dynasty thing because LeBron made the finals 8 straight times, but he only won 3 times. So I don't know if that looks very good. But now you got the Warriors going to the finals almost every year and then winning 3 out of 4 years. If they win this year, are they a dynasty? If they lose this year, are they still considered a dynasty? Because I also wanted to talk about do the Warriors really need KD? Now, I enjoy watching them play. I'm a big KD fan. Like, if you were to ask me, no hate on LeBron, because I know a lot of times I get to talking and I'm LeBron this, and sometimes KD to me is the premier player in the NBA. The size, the length, the skill set at that size, I can't see how there's a better player in the NBA than KD, in the current time. LeBron, great talent, great skill set, but he's limited scoring wise to me, and the big advantage that he has, he doesn't really take advantage of it because he's not aggressive enough. But like I was saying, do the Warriors even really need KD? They don't have him starting the series because he's injured. But if he doesn't play, do you guys think that the Warriors would lose without him? I don't. Again, like I said, if KD plays, if KD don't play, if Toronto picks up Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, however they do, the Warriors are going to win the series. It's going to be a short series. Hopefully it's entertaining. Maybe I'm wrong. You got, hold me to what I'm saying. I'll go back and I'll look when we're a few games in, but I think I'm going to be right, and I think that they'll win. They also have DeMarcus Cousins, who hasn't played in forever. Played like he took like 3 steps and broke his pride, and that was it for him. But he might come back in this series. Do they need either one of those guys? If you were the coach, would you just tell them, go chill out, find the Cousins, find the open bar, have a drink on them or something like that, or would you want them to come play in the series? I don't think they need them, but I think that they're kind of insurance, because at the end of the day, the amount of talent that the Warriors have, regardless of what happens, I think they'll win. And that leads me to, is interest in the league kind of declining? Is the league itself declining because the competition factor is being taken out of the league? And I think this started with the quest for LeBron's championships when they added D-Wade and Bosh, and then it was kind of like every year the Heat in the finals, even though they tried to say LeBron made it was because that team was so good, and then they went from there to, the Warriors put this team together, and now it's every year the Warriors are in the finals, and it's pretty much a foregone conclusion the Warriors are going to win the finals most times. So is that hurting the league? Is that stopping people from wanting to watch the games? Because I know myself, I used to be an avid fan. I watched all through the regular season, all into the playoffs, and now I find myself, as long as I know the scores, I might watch the fourth quarters of games, maybe some of the third quarter, but I'm not into the games like I used to be, because it seems like the competition factor is it's not there. Like, no matter how much the Warriors are down, in the series against Portland they were just in most of those games, they were down 15, 17 points. And I wasn't worried. They didn't look worried. They still looked like they was taking layups and shooting around, doing shooting drills. And, of course, by the time the fourth quarter came around, they ended up on top in all those games. Swept Portland, swept the Trailblazers. But is the league declining? Is that even, is that even a factor? Who cares? Is it just because of the entertainment? Does that even matter now? Because it's more like, it's less physicality involved. You got more athletic players. They're longer, taller. They're running, dunking, shoot a lot of three-pointers. Is that cool? Who knows? Some people prefer that league. I'm old school. Again, I always say, I know I look good. I look young, but I'm not that young. So the basketball that I prefer is more traditional type of basketball. I like the contact. I like the defense. I like, people having to work to score. Now it looks like if you go in your backyard and do a bunch of drills and you're a decent size with decent athleticism, there's no way they can stop you, because the rules are made that you can't touch anybody really anymore. You can't breathe on anybody. All these technical fouls and all this kind of stuff is kind of ridiculous. So with the finals, I think that the Warriors got it sold up. The Raptors, happy to be here. Even that, it's like, I think they're going to be just happy to be in the finals. Kawhi will show up every game, but a lot of those guys are going to be wide-eyed, and they're not going to care. At least they're going to be able, it's going to be the, they're going to be able to say, well, at least we made the finals, and have that moral victory or whatever. And I don't think that's enough to beat the Warriors. But in the league, period, getting into the NBA, we just had the draft. So the game is moving into a certain area, what I was saying with the athleticism and less physicality. And I think I mentioned this before. I'm a Knicks fan. Boo-hoo, woe is me, but I'm a diehard Knicks fan since Patrick Ewing days, since forever. And we got the 3 pick. We didn't get the number 1 pick, so we're not going to get Zion, who is, I'm sure, is going to be the number 1 pick. So we got the 3 pick, and most people are saying that it's going to be Zion, then Ja Morant, and then R.J. Barrett. I'm not mad at getting R.J. Barrett, man. I think that Zion comes with a lot of baggage and a lot of expectation that in New York it may be tough there for that. I know when this is the same situation like when LeBron came out. He came out with a high expectation and level and a following, but he went into a market where he's the market. So the pressure's not so much there. And then in the East at that time, the East wasn't very strong, so he was able to do some things. I think that Zion coming now into the East with the Raptors and the Celtics, and like the league is more balanced. We know who's going to win in the end, but in that chase up to the end, it's more balanced. So I think he would have had a struggle with living up to making the Knicks some great team as opposed to where they were. But at the 3 pick, I think we land R.J. Barrett, and he looks pretty solid to me, man. I think that at his size, with his scoring ability, and even with defense, he's shown he can play some defense. The Knicks, we might be in for a treat with what we got. I was one of the people that, I guess every time the Knicks get anybody, I'm always happy because I'm a Knicks fan. So when we got Porzingis and everybody booed, I looked up some workout videos and I'm like, yeah, Porzingis is going to be the man. And he turned out to be pretty decent. Kevin Knox, same thing. When they took Kevin Knox, they were boo, boo. I looked at the kid and like, he looks like he may be pretty decent. So if we do take R.J. Barrett, if we luck up somehow and the Memphis Grizzlies, when they're picking at the 2nd pick, they get drunk or maybe they sniff glue or inhale fumes and they let Ja Morant drop to 3. If we were able to get him, that'd be great too, because at that talent, we could keep him or move him. And I think that the Knicks need talent now. We got a solid young nucleus, and we need top-level talent to bring the team together. Like, I'm going to say this until I can't talk no more. Melo. Bring Melo back. Bring Melo back. He's a New York dude. He had the best years of his career. He gave his heart and soul to New York. Gave his health to New York. Bring that dude back. Let him retire in the place where he needs to retire. He's a New Yorker, and he can generate these guys in the locker room. He can be that old head that can show them how to play, how to put forth that effort, how to be professionals, and all of that kind of stuff. And I think that would be a great move for the Knicks. I heard that they were in talks. I heard that there was some talks with him, or possibly about getting him back. But I think that would be a good move. So Melo in New York. In the off season, we got some moves to make. We got money. You got KD free, AD. Please, we need KD, AD, Kyrie, Jay-Z, AB, CP3. Like whoever we can get. We need as many superstars as we can to shore up those rookies, those young players that we got. So whoever we can get in the off season, I think we need to get to work. But I think that with the money we have available and the lure of the Garden, we should be good. So the NBA season is wrapping up. And I know some of you are wondering, where am I going to get my basketball fix? So, don't worry, I got you. You got a couple of places where after the season is over, when the Raptors go down in flames and the Warriors hoist the 4th championship ban in the last 5 years, there are a couple places that you could go to get your basketball fix. One is the Big 3. Shout out to Ice Cube. 3-on-3 basketball tournament. A lot of former NBA players. They got a lot of talent over there. Clyde Drexler is the commissioner there, I think, now, and he's made a lot of moves that have improved the league over the last couple years. It started off a little shaky. We had a lot of injuries. We had old guys trying to play basketball that probably shouldn't have been playing, and they were tearing things and ripping things and straining things. And, it was kind of, the first season I would have entitled that, go sit your ass down. And the second season was more in the way of what it should have been the first season. I know they started with AI was their premier talent, and no disrespect to AI, he's one of my favorite players of all time, but he shouldn't have been out there. He was in there looking like the question and not the answer. But now they got new talent. I think this year Lamar Odom is playing, Greg Oden is playing, Gilbert Arenas is playing. They got a lot of younger guys that were just recently playing in the NBA to up the level of competition in that league. So after the season is over, after this series goes down in 4 or 5 or however long the Raptors can stretch the series until they go down in flames, you can go over to the Big 3 and check out some more basketball there. But another option that you have, if you want to stay in that professional, that NBA, that kind of lane, you got the WNBA. The ladies are out there doing it. They dunking. They're faster. I see a lot more athleticism in their games, and I know a lot of times in the past, a lot of people complain that, the game is a little slow. It's slower than the men's still, but I think that the level of play has raised up a lot, and they have a lot of professional top-level athletes. Again, they dunking now. If you don't believe me, go YouTube, Google some videos. These girls are dunking. They're out there doing all of the same things the guys are doing. So, give them a look and check it out, because I do think that that league is on par, as far as the entertainment value and stuff is concerned, with any other league that's out there. So those are your post-NBA basketball options. And this is going to be me, Big U, signing off with the CuzWeKin Open Bar, I guess the sports edition. And as always, when you see CuzWeKin Open Bar, the drinks are on us. I'll see you guys later. And don't forget to follow. And if you got any ideas on what the next video should be, or any ideas or questions about what I said during this video, just make sure you put them in the comments, and I'll holler at you.
I think about the things that we used to do, and then I wonder why I'm standing here missing you. Know that we had some good times, you and I, but now it's time to start a new chapter in my life.